Hello everyone, welcome to part 2. At the end of part 1, I told you I would run the config. So you just copy and paste and you run these commands with your email and with your name. So after that, you run the same message as above, git commit am, and you just copy and paste this message from what the professor wrote. And that's it. The commit has been made. Now we move on to step 2. Add the following import declaration to the board game model class. So we go here, source, Java, board game. Here it is, board game model. So we go to the class and we have to add this import declaration there. Done. Then change the declaration of the class to implement the game.toPhase move state interface as follows. So we have this as the class declaration. We'll just copy and paste this in this line, like so. You could also just add the new part in front. Either way, it's fine. So what this does is it implements this interface, and then we have the error. Select these three methods. Okay. So more actions, implement methods. So which methods do they want us to implement? Get next player. And by the way, you can hold control and click different things to select multiple. So get next player, is game over, and get status. So we want to implement these three methods. Click the OK button. So now they've been overridden. Change get status, change this to this. What about the Java docs? They're saying just implement methods, select these methods, and that's it. Right now, they're not talking about Java docs. That's in the actual project, the end of term project. So you have get status, just change it to this. All right. Change make move from this. Oh, here, but they're saying that is make move already here. Oh yeah, make move is already here. So change make move from this to this. All right, there you go. Also change the is legal move method to this. All right. So we find the is legal move here, is legal move. And replace this. There we go. Is legal move is done. Commit the changes with the message refactor implement. Okay, this message. So again, you go to the git bash and you do git commit am, and then you just paste. Nah, that's not that. I pasted the wrong thing. Yeah. Now, step 1, the project does not compile since the board game move selector class needs the original. We can try it right now by saving. Go to Maven, lifecycle, compile. Yep. Is legal move in class board game.model cannot be applied to given types. Let's remove, okay, so they're saying that this class, we have to make some changes. All right, let's remove, delete the board game.util package. Where is board game.util? This one, board game.util. We have to delete this package. Do not forget to delete the import declarations referring to the package. I think one thing you can do to fix that declaration stuff is you go click the refactor and save delete. I don't know why it's not letting me save delete though. Let me just delete it by now. Now let's see where board game util has been used. I don't think it's been used anywhere. Board games util. I don't think it's been used anywhere. Oh, here. Boardgame.util. It was used here. So we'll just delete the import. Oh, they actually tell you exactly where it's used in the board game controller class. So yeah, I know. There's another line. But they tell us here. So I went manually. You don't have to go manually. It just says here in the board game controller class. These are the two lines. The first one I deleted it. Import static board game util dot phase. Delete that. In the board game controller class, change the private final board game move selector. So this one, private final board game move selector. We have to change this into this. All right, there you go. Then change the private void show selection phase change. The private void show selection phase change. Okay, show selection phase change to this one. Now the game compiles and runs again. So let me just import this class. This is saying cannot resolve the symbol. Yeah, GFX utils, we can import the class. I think we have to import all of these classes from common.util.toPhase move selector. So what I'm seeing here is all of these errors are because two-phase move selector isn't, uh, you know, it's not imported. So let me just import two-phase move selector itself. Yeah, that fixes every single problem. So you click on it and you click import the dependency. So two-phase move selected this one. Uh, Here, common.util.toPhase move selector was supposed to be imported. Anyway, now we can compile. We can just try, just to be sure, we can try compiling. And you can see build success. I don't need this more. Okay, build success. So we just uh, commit the changes. Commit the changes with this message. AM, this message. Ah, there you go. Now, this is the interesting one. This is where scene builder comes in. So you can see in your project, if you go to, so you have main, right? And in main, you have Java and you have resources. So inside the resources folder, you have UI.fxml. fxml is where your user interface is declared. You can look at it right now, the whole user interface. And who likes to write XML or whatever this weird language is, right? So we have a program for that. Remember when you installed Scene Builder earlier? You can open this fxml file in Scene Builder. If you click here, open in, it usually should show Scene Builder here, but for some people it does not. So I'm just going to show you how to do it manually. So you open Scene Builder, it should show this. So you click Open Project, you go to your folder, they're here, and it was the main source, main resources, UI.fxml. So now you should have this fxml editor here. So I don't know how to, okay, whatever, I'll just make it smaller, maybe thinner. Yeah, I guess it's good. Let me just minimize the other stuff. Oh, by the way, now I just realized why I had to do the global. Because when you install GitHub Desktop, it will ask you this. And all you have to do is just click finish. Like you have to choose your name and your email, and that's it. It should do the authentication for yourself. But now you know how to do it both ways. Anyway, it should show this, right? Open that file in Scene Builder and wrap the grid pane in a border pane. So if you look here, you have a grid pane and you have to wrap it in a border pane. So you right click, you go to wrap in, and you choose border pane. Note that the center compartment of the border pane contains the grid pane. Yeah. Add a label in the top compartment of the border pane. So how do you do that? You have to find a label. The label. Let me just search it. Yeah, there it is. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Let's say you have label, right? And add the label in the top compartment of border pane. So see here, insert top, grab the label and drag it to insert top. Now you have a label. So set the margin values to 10 on the layout tab of the label. So first you click on the label, then on the right side you have these tabs, right? You have properties, layout, and code. So layout, margin. So you put the margin values to 10. I think that means like all margin values. So you do 10, enter. That's 10. I guess right side 10, left side 10. Well, no, right side 10, bottom 10, and left side 10. There you go. Now you set the margin values in the layout tab. What's next? Switch to the properties tab of the label. So you're still in the label. You can close the layout tab now and go to properties. Set the FX font size CSS property to 24. So you see here in style is CSS. So FX, search for FX font style. I could also just manually type it, but for your ease of understanding, I'll just look for it. Font size, FX font size, 224. There you go. Boom, now it's big. Finally, go to the code tab of the label. So we are still in the label, by the way, label. So now we can close properties and we go to the code tab. And what do you want to do? You go to FX ID and you have set it to player label. You can manually type it or you can just copy paste it. But just remember that you don't accidentally, like for example, in my case, I forgot the L. Or some people, when they paste it, they have a white space at the front like this. So just make sure you copy paste it properly. So we are done. Now we go back to the board game controller class. Maybe let me just save this. Changes saved to UI.fxml. I'll just minimize it for the time being. You can actually see the changes reflected here. Let me see if I can find those. So you can see that there's a grid pane that's wrapped in a border pane, and the border pane has a label, and the FX ID of the label is player label, and the style is font size 24, and the margins are 10, 10, 10, 10. So this is just for understanding. Now, what do we do next? So the next thing that we do is, oh, wait, okay, add the following class field to the board game controller class. So we go to the board game controller class, which is in Java, board game controller. So here, mm, make it a bit thicker. So what do? You add this field to fxml, Control C. So I think we'll just add it under this board, and then there's this. And yeah, you can just, wait, are there other imports we could do? So here you can import label, right? But this label type can either be Java lang class file or Java fx.scene.control. So considering we're dealing with Java FX, I'm gonna go with Java FX scene. And also since this is an interface and this is a class, so I'm gonna go with this label. But we'll find out soon enough if it was the wrong move. By the way, if you want to decide on what to import, you can just like click and then import classes and it lets you choose which class. Commit the changes, all right. Copy this commit message. Git commit am. Step 5, make the necessary changes in the board game model. Sure, why not? Let's check. Yep, it's safe. Okay, so we go to the board game model here, and okay, yeah. So board game model. The first thing we do is add this following class field. All right, private read-only object method. So it's a class field to board game model. So I'll just add it under this. Alter the player who moves next in the make move method as follows. So now we have to find the make move method and replace it. Here is the make move method, and we will just replace it with this. So copy this make move method and paste. There you go. Also change the get next player method to this. What is the get next player method? Here. Copy this. Selected, next player. I did an extra override. There you go. Add the following method. I guess it's a new method. So since it's a new method, I'll just add it under this. Yeah. All right. Commit these changes. So I guess as Fuad suggested, I'll just try before every time I commit something, I'll just compile. Okay. Build success. Now we commit the changes. Commit the changes with git commit am. Copy paste the message. In board game controller, add the following line of code to the very end of the initialize method, very end of the body. So we go to board game controller there. Initialize method is this initialize here. Let me see if there's any other initialize method just to be sure. No. Okay. That's the only initialize. Very end of the body, which means this line. Copy this line, add it to the very end, as I said. Control S. Control S here. And I'm not gonna compile every time. It's just I'm too lazy to do that. So we are here, right? I'll just copy this. Git commit am this. Now step 7. Finally, let's change the board game model so that player 1 plays with the red pieces and player 2 plays with the blue pieces. Okay, just link. So we go to board game model now here, and we change the is legal to move from method, is legal to move from this method, and we change it to exporting. There you go. That's it. Commit the changes with the message fix. Actually, now we do have to check if it compiles. Save. Check if it compiles. There you go. Build success. Bada bing, bada boom. If you're doing the homework right now, that's it. Next thing you have to do is just commit it with this message. Git commit am. Oh, meeting will end in 10 minutes. Perfect timing. Although the game is now playable, it never ends. You know what? Let me try actually running the game. Think you have to run this. Ah, we don't have runtime components. I mean, the code compiled successfully. Should I install JavaFX? Maybe why not? Okay. Maybe this runs the thing. Let me try this. Oh, you're supposed to actually. Oh yeah, I just realized you're supposed to run the main file instead of that. Okay, player 1, player 2, player 1, player 2. Okay, so it's running as expected, right? Can I kill the enemy species? Oh, you can't change your mind about what piece you want to move, and you can't kill the enemy species. Anyway, the code compiles and the program works as expected. There is not a plugin for that. You just go to main and you run it. See, JavaFX is a library. It's a part of Java. That's why it's considered so useful. It's cross-platform. So my mistake was running board game application instead of main. So you just go to the main file and you run it. So since the code compiles and it works as expected, what do? You have to, did I commit? Let me see. Fix allow players to make a move with the piece only. Okay, so I committed. Okay, now I can just push it to GitHub. So I think by pushing, I just have to do git push upstream. So this is master. So you do git. Ah, bro, this keeps blocking. What? What happened that is so urgent? Before showing, show your commit history. I don't think the professor cares that much of about commit history anymore. I got like maximum marks on both homeworks, and my commit history was messed up. Like, see here, like these changes must happen. Like they must just happen. And I don't think the exact commit history. I think my commit history is still going to be perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. So, I don't even know the command to show that. I have GitHub Premium, so I can be a dumbass. No, I have ChatGPT. What the? Did he just? No way. ChatGPT really said, "Hey yo, you can see your commit history, bro." Git log one line. All right. I guess it shows head because it's the latest commit. Anyway, now I shall continue pushing. So git push, and where do you want to push? You want to push from origin, and where do you want to push to master? By the way, sometimes it will be main, sometimes it will be master. You can just see here if it's master. Okay, enter, done. So now I go to my repository, homework repository, reset it, and you can see it's done. All of my commits are here, and the homework is complete. Any questions? When can we expect the video? I mean, right now, once it ends, it will take around 10 minutes for ChatGPT, no, for Zoom to process the video. And after that, I will upload them both to YouTube. So you can expect the video in like 30 minutes. I'll post the links. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Right, see ya.